Alright, next step, we'll want to install the Sempu torque sensing bottom bracket. If you have a 73 millimeter bottom bracket, you'll see 3 bearings here. If you have a 68, there will only be 2 bearings. So we'll want to remove the non-drive side left-hand cup, set that aside, and feed this cable through the hole that we drilled in the frame. Let me see if I can get the camera at a better angle. There we go. So feed that through. This one's a little bit tricky because there's 2 layers since it's a carbon frame. Okay, so we have the cable through. You can see it coming through over here. And we want to make sure that our cable coming out of the bottom bracket here is aligned with that hole at all times. If it twists too much back and forth like this, it's going to rub on the hole and damage the cable. You can see this one's used, been installed and removed multiple times, so there's wear and tear on the cable. So as we're pushing this in, we want to keep tension on this cable so that it doesn't bunch up inside the frame. So I'll keep gentle tension over here and gently push this into the frame, making sure that this is aligned. Now once we get to about here, we'll want to, or a little bit further, once we get about there, we'll be hitting the Sempu install tool over on this side. Let me try to move the camera over there. So now we want to grab a hold of that to make sure it doesn't twist or push out. We can keep pushing that in and then pull the cable a little bit more and push in a little bit more. So now the bottom bracket is seated. It's almost touching the threads. So now we want to definitely make sure that we're holding the Sempu tool as we start to turn this in by hand. So let's turn this in by hand, and you may or may not have to wiggle this plate to get this started. This one's going in pretty easily, so we just tighten this up by hand. And of course, making sure we're gripping that Sempu tool on the left-hand side so that this part doesn't spin and damage the cable. All right, and once that's just snug up against the cup but not tight, we'll move on to our next step.